Hello again, my favorite fifth graders. Today we are going to discuss the elements of poetry. We haven't really discussed poetry yet this year, so it's probably new to you. So let's start with what the difference is between a poem and other texts that we've read. Well, poems, are literary writings that are usually written with a rhythm. It's written to express feelings and uses a lot of figurative language. In poems, they are written in stanzas rather than paragraphs. So let's take a look at a poem and all of the things that are used to make it a poem rather than a regular piece of fictional writing. The poem I chose for us to look at today is My Name is Pearl. Said the bunny to the squirrel, "Are you a boy or a girl?" The squirrel said to the bunny, "I am a girl. Nice to meet you. My name is Pearl." Pearl said to the bunny, "What is your name?" "I am also a girl, and our name is the same. Do you want to be friends?" "Indeed I do. I would love to be friends with you." "We have the same name, and yet that is funny. We have the same name, and I'm not a bunny. Our name is Pearl, and we are both a girl, but only one of us is a squirrel." So if we're looking at a poem, you can see that the title is the name of the poem, and the person that writes poetry are called poets. Who is the poet that wrote this poem? Yes, Becky Robbins. Then we need to understand that poetry is written in lines. The single row of words in a poem is a line. You put those lines together and they make stanzas. How many stanzas are in this poem? That's right, there are 3 stanzas. Next, many poems rhyme. This poem has several words that rhyme at the end of each line. I never knew there were so many words that could rhyme with squirrel. I guess they also could have used words like twirl or curl or swirl. Earlier this week, we reviewed theme. Remember, it's the message or the truth the author or poet is trying to tell you. I think the theme of this poem is you don't have to be completely the same in order to be friends. Poems also create mood. The mood is the way the poet wants you to feel when you're reading the poem. This poem seems happy. Just know poems don't always have to have a positive mood. They could be spooky or lonely or even angry. 2 more elements of poetry are meter and rhythm. These qualities kind of make poetry like sing-songy, like the songs that we listen to. Rhythm is the beat of the poem. You can think of nursery rhymes you learned when you were younger, like Humpty Dumpty or Mary Had a Little Lamb. There's also meter. That is the accented and number of syllables per line. If you watch the video on Brain Pop, it explains it really well. Earlier this week, we also reviewed figurative language. Do you see any types of figurative language being used in this poem? Well, this is a poem where a squirrel and a bunny are talking to one another. What is that called when animals or objects are given human characteristics? Yes, it is personification. Okay, I just wanted to introduce you to the elements of poetry. I have a couple assignments I want you to complete. I've put up a slideshow about these elements. I also have an interactive notebook page for you to complete and share with me. It's not as fun as when we're in class and you get to cut things out and put them in your notebook. There's also a worksheet for you to complete. It's on a slide. I try to include all the things you need to complete it. Please turn those things in by the end of the week. Just a reminder that you have 2 quizzes that were assigned earlier this week. They're for a grade. Remember, you can redo them until you get a passing score. I want you to do your very best on those. They should be easy. Also, if you have not completed your Think Circa assignments, that's past due. You want to get that done as soon as possible. Please, please, please don't fall behind. I really appreciate that you have been working so hard on all of your assignments. I hope that you're continuing to stay safe and healthy. Please let me know if you have any questions or need help with anything. I have office hours in the morning, also in the afternoon. I also try to check email at least several times a day, even during other parts of the day that's not my office hours. Next week, we are going to analyze a poem and create a slideshow with that. And then also you're going to write your own poem. Okay? So you're doing great. Keep working hard.